What if I told you there's a single family whose fortune is so massive they could buy every luxury brand on Earth, every major tech company, and still have money left over? A dynasty that transformed from desert nomads into rulers of the world's richest kingdom. A family so powerful that their decisions shake global oil prices and ripple through every economy on the planet. This is the story of the House of Saud, the wealthiest, most influential royal family on Earth. Once you step into their world of oil, power, and unimaginable opulence, there's no turning back. The foundation of the House of Saud, the Saudi royal family, officially known as the House of Saud, sits at the very top of the global wealth pyramid. Their estimated fortune of $1.4 trillion makes them not just the richest family alive today, but one of the wealthiest dynasties in history. But their story didn't begin with super yachts, gold-plated cars, or billion-dollar investments. It started over 250 years ago in the barren deserts of the Arabian Peninsula. Back then, Arabia was a land of rival tribes, each fighting for dominance. Amidst this chaos, a leader named Mohammed bin Salman joined forces with a fiery religious scholar, Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab. This alliance wasn't just spiritual, it was political. Together, they forged the first Saudi state, a partnership that gave the House of Saud both legitimacy and influence. This union between the Saud dynasty and Wahhabi Islam would shape the kingdom's destiny for centuries. The oil that changed everything. Fast forward to the early 20th century. For centuries, Arabia had been poor, with little more than desert trade routes and religious pilgrimage income from Mecca and Medina. But in 1938, everything changed. Deep beneath the sands of Dhahran, American geologists struck oil. What they found wasn't just a small field, it was one of the largest reserves on Earth. Almost overnight, the Saud family went from desert rulers to oil tycoons. Under the reign of King Ibn Saud, the first monarch of modern Saudi Arabia, oil revenues began pouring into the kingdom. Billions of dollars funded infrastructure, military power, and, of course, the luxurious lifestyles of the royal family. By the mid-20th century, Saudi Arabia had become the world's biggest oil exporter. And with oil prices soaring in the decades that followed, the House of Saud's wealth multiplied at a pace the world had never seen. Building an empire of power. Unlike most royal families, the House of Saud didn't just rule, they owned. The crown jewel of their empire is Saudi Aramco, the state-owned oil company. In 2019, Aramco made headlines with a jaw-dropping valuation of $1.9 trillion, making it one of the most valuable companies in history. Its profits alone outpaced giants like Apple and Microsoft combined. For the royal family, Aramco wasn't just a business, it was a power tool. With oil fueling global economies, the Saud family found themselves holding the world by its energy supply. Their decisions, whether to pump more oil or cut production, could raise or crash fuel prices overnight, shifting the balance of global power. But they didn't stop there. King Salman, who became monarch in 2015, launched a bold initiative to diversify Saudi wealth. Through a sovereign wealth fund worth $500 billion, the family invested in tech companies, real estate, sports, and entertainment across the globe. These moves turned the House of Saud from oil rulers into global investors. The size of the royal family. To understand the scale of their influence, consider this. The House of Saud isn't a small circle of royals. It's a sprawling dynasty with over 25,000 members, including more than 200 princes. This means their fortune is not concentrated in a single king or prince. It's distributed across thousands of family members, each living a life of unimaginable wealth and privilege. While some royals live relatively quietly, others flaunt their riches in the form of gold-plated cars, multi-million-dollar super yachts, and palaces filled with Italian marble and crystal chandeliers. Their collective wealth dwarfs even the richest monarchies, 4 times greater than the Qatari royal family and 16 times richer than the British monarchy. The transition to modern Saudi Arabia. The rise of oil wealth transformed Saudi Arabia into a modern state, but it also posed challenges. With global attention focused on the kingdom's riches, the House of Saud faced the delicate task of maintaining religious authority, political stability, and modernization, all at once. This balancing act came into sharp focus with the ascent of King Salman in 2015. Just 2 years later, he made a bold move by elevating his son, Mohammed bin Salman, to crown prince. At only 32 years old, MBS, as he is known worldwide, was about to take the House of Saud into a new and controversial era. Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS as he is widely known, quickly established himself as the most powerful figure in Saudi Arabia. When he became crown prince in 2017, the country was facing a critical crossroads. Oil prices had fluctuated dramatically. The younger population was demanding social change, and decades of reliance on fossil fuels were being questioned. MBS understood that Saudi Arabia could not remain dependent solely on oil and needed a bold plan to secure its economic future. His solution came in the form of Vision 2030, a blueprint for transforming the kingdom into a diversified economy. The plan focuses on 3 main pillars: reducing dependence on oil, developing public service sectors, and increasing Saudi Arabia's global influence. Under this vision, new industries, technology, tourism, entertainment, and renewable energy have become central to the country's growth strategy. The idea is simple yet ambitious. Turn Saudi Arabia into a hub for innovation while preserving the kingdom's cultural heritage. One of the most ambitious projects under Vision 2030 is NEOM, a city being built from scratch in the desert. Spanning over 26,500 square kilometers, NEOM is designed as a futuristic metropolis with smart cities, renewable energy, and high-tech industries. Its aim is to attract global talent and investors while showcasing Saudi Arabia's potential beyond oil. Alongside NEOM, projects like the Red Sea Project and Qiddiya Entertainment City are bringing luxury tourism and entertainment to the kingdom, from pristine beaches and resorts to theme parks and sports arenas. These projects illustrate a clear vision. Saudi Arabia wants to compete not only economically, but culturally and socially on the world stage. The wealth of the Saudi royal family, while often discussed in numbers, can hardly be fully grasped. Beyond oil revenues, the family owns some of the world's most expensive real estate, luxury yachts, and private jets. Residences in Beverly Hills, London, and Paris are not just symbols of comfort. They're strategic assets. These holdings provide influence in international finance, politics, and culture. Super yachts, private islands, and custom-built cars are part of daily life, illustrating a lifestyle where wealth becomes both power and diplomacy. MBS has also leveraged this wealth to expand Saudi Arabia's global footprint. Through the Public Investment Fund, PF, worth hundreds of billions of dollars, Saudi investments now reach companies like Tesla, Uber, and Lucid Motors. These investments give the kingdom stakes in cutting-edge technologies that could define the future, positioning Saudi Arabia not only as a financial power, but as a technological one as well. Cultural investments also reflect this strategy, including hosting international sports events, concerts, and festivals, an effort to project soft power globally. While these initiatives have earned praise, they have also drawn criticism. MBS's methods to consolidate power have been described as aggressive. The world took notice with incidents such as the 2018 killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which highlighted tensions between modernization and political control. Within Saudi Arabia, reforms like allowing women to drive and opening cinemas have been welcomed, but they coexist with strict oversight and limited tolerance for dissent. This duality defines MBS's rule: bold reformer to modernize the country, but also a cautious enforcer of authority to maintain stability. Religion remains central to the House of Saud's legitimacy. The royal family continues to maintain strong ties with Wahhabi religious authorities, ensuring that reforms do not disrupt the kingdom's Islamic foundations. This balancing act between tradition and modernity is delicate. MBS must satisfy both the younger generation seeking opportunity and freedom and conservative factions who fear rapid change. This tension has shaped many policy decisions and will continue to influence Saudi Arabia's trajectory in the years to come. Despite these challenges, Saudi Arabia's transformation under MBS is unprecedented. Cities are being rebuilt, infrastructure modernized, and social restrictions eased. The economy is diversifying, and global investments are positioning the kingdom as a player not just in energy, but in technology, entertainment, and culture. The Crown Prince's ambition is not only to secure wealth for the royal family, but to craft a lasting legacy that will shape the kingdom's place in the world for decades. Looking ahead, the House of Saud's future is tied closely to the success of these reforms. Mega projects, global investments, and social modernization are high stakes. If successful, they will secure the kingdom's influence far beyond the Middle East. If they fail, the country could face economic instability and social unrest. What is clear, however, is that under MBS, Saudi Arabia is no longer simply an oil-rich desert kingdom. It has become a symbol of wealth, ambition, and transformation, and the world is watching closely as this bold experiment unfolds. The story of the Saudi royal family today is a story of extremes. Ancient traditions intertwined with futuristic visions, immense wealth alongside unprecedented social reforms, and domestic control paired with global ambition. It is a story that reflects the challenges and opportunities of a country determined to redefine itself while preserving its identity. From the desert sands to global skyscrapers, the House of Saud continues its journey, guided by a leader who has dared to imagine a completely new Saudi Arabia.